Hey everyone, and welcome to this Minecraft tutorial on how to make an automated wheat farm. I know this is my first tutorial, so you'll have to forgive me. I'm sure I'll make some mistakes. Anyway, this tutorial is made for Minecraft 1.2.5, so if you're using a later version it may not work. And I guess let's get right to it. Now, the unique aspect of this design over other models that I've seen is that it uses a modular format so that you can stack more and more layers of the same thing on top of each other. And the main advantage to this, besides being infinitely expandable, or up to the height limit I guess, is that you only have to wait for the water to cross, or for your wheat to cross 7 tiles, whereas with other designs that have an expansive amount of farmland, you have to wait for the water and the wheat to travel from all the way over there to all the way over here, and it just takes forever. So this way, as you're about to see, you get your wheat and your seeds almost immediately. Now, as you can see, I've got 2 layers of wheat here, and this stuff up here is just falling through the hole, and I'm going to pick it up right down here. And as you can see from that, I got a pretty decent amount, even just from 2 layers. Anyway, alright, now let's get to the design. Alright, so what I've got here is the main body of the structure that's going to be used to house this wheat farm. I have here, and I used wool for this, but you can use any material, that doesn't matter. But I've got a pad here at the base that's 16 wide by 13 deep, and also this opening in the front. This is in the middle. It's not included in the dimensions, but it should be put there. It just sticks out by 1, and it's a total of 4 wide. Also in the back here I have one little opening that it's aligned with the front opening, but it's to the left hand side. This is important, don't forget it. And also obviously I have these walls. They are 3 high and they follow the shape of the pad. Back here I have a strip 2 blocks wide where I don't have any floor back here. Also this little opening has no floor. And finally I have this pad of dirt, which will be used as the farmland in this design. It's 14 wide and 7 deep. Okay, so now I used red wool over there. Here I used blue wool to indicate the walls and the things I've already built there. So anything I add is going to be made out of red wool. So same design over here. Now the first thing you want to add is your pistons. These are going to be your floodgate stoppers, I guess. They're going to hold off the water until you're ready for it to flow out and harvest your wheat for you. Now that we've added this, we want to add, this is the redstone that's going to, or this is the base for the redstone that's going to be used to trigger the pistons. Now, I use repeaters here. You may choose to use redstone torches or just wire, whatever you'd like. I use repeaters because I have found them to be the most convenient and the best space savers, but if you want to save the materials, you can use something else. Alright. Now this right here is going to trigger all these pistons to stand straight up. And in this position they'll be blocking the flow of water to this dirt. Okay, now the next thing we need to do is start adding water. And what I strongly recommend that you do before you undertake this project is to create a well near your building area. And if you don't know how to do that, this is how you put water sources in either corner, and it creates a self-sustaining well of water that you can draw from infinitely. And you're going to be using a lot of water in this design, so I strongly recommend it. Alright, now here, this is the water that's going to be used to hydrate our soil. You want to be very careful that before you put any water in here, you make sure that it's watertight, because otherwise you risk flooding your redstone circuit and you'll have to do that again. Okay, now here's one of these places where you're going to use a lot of water, but you can make it easier on yourself if you do this. Place source water and then skip a space. think I heard somebody. Okay, and so this water in the middle is source water, and it will be infinitely regenerated. Let me demonstrate. See, if I take this, then it reappears, so I can use that as much as I want. Anyway, but obviously I'm in creative, so it's not a problem, but I'm assuming that if you want to build this, you're going to be probably doing it on a survival world. Okay, so this is our hydration water. It's going to hydrate this dirt out to about right here. So this is 3 blocks in. And you want to cover it up. I always do that. And then over here, this is the water that's going to deliver the wheat and the seeds to you, but it's also going to hydrate up to here, so 4 blocks in. Yeah, 4 blocks in. Okay, so it's taken care of. Now, this is one place where the material actually is fairly important. You don't have to use glass, you can use slabs. There's really any opaque block, or non-opaque block. But it is important that you use a non-opaque block here. And the reason is the wheat is going to be growing right under this. And so if you have an opaque block like wool or stone or whatever, then the wheat, you can plant it, but it won't actually grow. I prefer to use glass because glass lets lots of light through, and that helps the crops to grow better. Anyway, now we've created the trough for our next layer of water, and again, make it easy on yourself here. And this is the water that's actually going to flood across the dirt here. So if I go back here and knock out the storage, voila. Now obviously you don't want to have to do that every time you use this. Unfortunately, there's a much easier way. There are actually 2 ways to handle this, and I'm going to show you both. I'll show you the simplest first. Now, the simplest way is to use a lever. Switch it one way, the water runs out. Switch it another way, the water runs off, or turns off. Now, this is it's convenient, sort of, but it means that you have to judge when to turn it off. So, if you do it too soon, there may be some seeds and some wheat that are left up in a higher layer that you don't see. They get wasted. But I'm going to show you how to do it anyway, just in case. As you can see, I've already built some redstone here. That's not important for right now, but this repeater here also is not that important if you're using a lever. It's very important if you're using the other design, which I'll show you in a minute. Okay, so you want to build all the way back to here. Now this is the block where the redstone torch that we placed, that's what it's sitting on. So we want to put another torch right here. And that turns this torch off. Now, we don't want this water to be spouting out all the time, so we need to negate this circuit by adding another redstone torch, connecting these, and so now when this lever is in its unpowered state, no water comes out, but when it's in its powered state, we get water flow. That's the simple design. Now I'm going to show you the slightly more complicated design. With this design, you can just push the button once, the water will flow out, knock over all the wheat, carry it all back to you, and then turn off by itself. Now, as you can see, when I push this button, the water flow lasts about a second. It's not long enough to really carry anything back to you. So what we're going to need to do is create a little infinite loop back here. I'll show you how to do that. You take one repeater and face it this direction. And then you take another repeater and face it this direction, so that they make an infinite circle. Now, when I push this button, what's going to happen is the water is going to flow out like normal, but then this is going to continually power it, and so it will stay lit up until we manually go back here and break this circuit. Once again, of course, we don't want to have to be manually breaking redstone, so what we're going to do is add a little mechanism here that will break the circuit for us. Now this is the one sticky piston that you need to use for this design, and I should mention that if you have a better way of doing this, if you have a more elegant or more efficient way, feel free to insert your own mechanism in here. This is just the way that I do it. So what I found is that you need a delay of 25 fully delayed repeaters, so you need to make sure they're all extended as far as they can go. You need 25 of them, and make sure that you don't short the circuit like that. You need to make sure that the redstone is not connected in such a way that it's going to mess up your timing. Anyway, so 25 of these, and I press the button. What happens is, this creates a little infinite circuit here. You can hear the water rushing above me, but the signal is running through these repeaters, and eventually it will cause this sticky piston to extend, break the circuit, and cut off the water flow. So that's it. I just showed you how to create an automated wheat farm, and this is good for a 7x14 grid, but I'm going to take a break and then I'm going to show you how to stack this and make it many times higher yield.